Hello everyone, this is Dr. Scholz from Scholz Chiropractic and Wellness, and today we're going to talk about all things acupuncture. So I've gotten some questions recently about kind of what to expect with an acupuncture appointment, what it can be used for, how it works, and is it painful? So the quick answer to that is no, acupuncture is not painful. Typically what patients, if they actually do feel anything at all, it's going to be like a small pinch in the area where the needle's going in, and then that discomfort dissipates very quickly. So it's not like having a blood draw needle placed into your skin. It's not going to be that same type of discomfort. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about kind of different needles, different techniques that can be used, and what exactly we would use them for. So basically we're going to start with kind of a longer needle, which would be used typically for bigger areas like the glutes. These needles are going to be a little bit longer, but as you can see, they have colored tabs on the top. So the reason why needles have colored tabs is because they're actually so small that as providers, we would lose them if they weren't color coded. So much easier to keep track of them for us when they have colors kind of color coded on the top of the needle. So once again, this type of needle is a little bit longer, still very, very small, bigger muscle groups like the glutes for this type of needle. The next type of needle we'll talk about is kind of like a generalized area type of needle, which is going to be a little bit smaller. These have the blue tabs on top, and as you can see, it's just a much shorter needle for that. This one can be used for all over the body, arms, neck, back, legs, etc. And then the smallest needles are used for facial acupuncture, which are going to be these green tab ones. So these are really, really small. So they actually have a little bit of a bigger tab so that we can kind of keep track of them. And then the other needle as well for facial acupuncture is called an intradermal needle. So basically what that is, a very, very, very small needle, actually so small that they're typically placed with tweezers in the skin. They're kind of focused for wrinkles, age spots, acne, things like that, where they can kind of go directly into that area where there's kind of those things going on. So these ones you probably won't even see, but these are actually packaged. Let me see if I can, oh, there we go. We can kind of see it on here. They're actually packaged in a foam cover because there's no way that you would keep track of these otherwise. So very small needles. So typically kind of going back with the facial ones, facial acupuncture, there's a couple different things it can be used for. Sinus pressure is a really big thing, and also cosmetic acupuncture, which consists of about 25 to 30 minutes of needles in the face. Basically, it's a natural alternative to Botox. So it kind of helps brighten complexion, get rid of those fine lines and wrinkles in the face. It can also help with things like acne, rosacea, things like that. And then it's followed by cupping on the face as well. Now these are facial cups. These are not like full body cups. So this is not going to have the same type of effect that you would typically see on athletes where it leaves those big marks on the skin with the cupping. These are not going to do that. It's very light pressure, and it's basically placed on the cheeks, going out in both directions, on the forehead, on the chin, even kind of going into the neck and the upper chest area, just to help really plump the skin in those areas, bring in more blood flow. And then the cosmetic acupuncture treatment is followed by gua sha. So that is these like cold rock tools. Same thing, very gentle. They're not going to cause any pain or discomfort or like red marks, bruising, anything like that. And it's kind of just to kind of finish it out with the face, kind of get that lymph moving, and to also kind of flush the face as well at the very end of the appointment. So that's typically what facial acupuncture would consist of. Same concept, the needles are not painful. You might feel them for like a split second or two, but it typically fades out after that. So that's that for facial acupuncture. Now, acupuncture can be used for pretty typically anything really. So it can be used for local pain and discomfort. If there was a recent injury, it can help kind of bring in more blood flow to the area, stimulate nerves underneath the skin. So it's really good for acute conditions, chronic pain as well, things like rheumatoid arthritis, osteoarthritis. It can even be used for things like infertility and breech even as well, just to kind of help stimulate mom's body to get baby to move. And it can also be used for things like natural induction, points in the low back and the legs and the feet stimulate contractions, which starts the birthing process. And then it can also be used for GI conditions, bloating, gas, PMS symptoms, and things like psychological conditions, such as like stress, anxiety, PTSD, things like that. So that's the best part about acupuncture, is that it can be used for pretty much anything, and it's always beneficial for things like that. So the other thing I want to talk about with acupuncture, which I'm sure a lot of you have seen on my page fairly recently, is called electroacupuncture. So what electroacupuncture is used for is things like muscle injury, recent injuries. Maybe you were working out at the gym and you were deadlifting and you hurt your back or you hurt your knee, things like that. Bicep tendonitis as well in the arm, very effective for that. Rotator cuff injuries, areas where kind of the needle will penetrate deeper into the muscle tissue. And then these little stim, and I'll kind of show you what the unit looks like here so you can kind of get an idea. The stim unit looks like this. And then it attaches to these leads. And then these two ends at both ends of the lead plug onto the needle, and then it helps stimulate that muscle tissue. So same concept, it's gonna help stimulate healing, faster healing in that area just by stimulating nerves, getting more blood flow in there, collagen production as well. So really, really great for recent injuries, even for chronic pain, especially for low back pain and shoulder discomfort and rotator cuff, things like that. It works really, really well for that type of thing. So if you guys have any questions about acupuncture, of course, if you would like to schedule, you can always direct message me. But otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful evening and stay tuned for further videos. Okay guys, so really quick, something that I forgot to mention. So a couple of other questions I get asked about acupuncture is acupuncture covered by insurance? Yes and no. It really just depends on the insurance company, the specific plan with the insurance company as well. Sometimes it's covered, sometimes it's not. It really just depends. A typical acupuncture visit also, which I forgot to mention, is typically between 30 and 45 minutes, sometimes up to an hour. Cosmetic acupuncture takes longer just because it's about 25 to 30 minutes of just kind of that facial needling, followed by the facial cupping and the gua sha. So that takes a little bit longer. Also kind of giving me time for you as a patient as well to kind of discuss what's going on, kind of the best protocol moving forward with acupuncture as well. So depending on how long that takes too. I typically tell patients, give yourself a full hour if you're coming in for acupuncture. That way, if it does take a little bit longer, you can kind of expect that. And then you're not kind of rushing to get out of here either. So once again though, if you guys have any further questions for me, feel free to always message me. You can also call our office at 630-730-8920. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a wonderful day and I hope to see you soon.